everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Corona Diaries. I'm your host, Tim Sackett, back in the office doing this again. Also, look at the shirt, I love HR. Shout out to my friends at the Sherm store who sent me this. Obviously Sherm has published my book and they've really treated me well. And the folks said, hey, we want to send you a shirt. I'm like, yeah, do it. Green and white, Michigan State, love it. Make sure you go out to the Sherm store and get your own. I love HR. I do love HR, so it's fitting from that. Hey, today I want to talk about LinkedIn and really networking on LinkedIn. I've had a lot of reach out recently from a lot of people who are losing jobs because of the virus and everything else going on, and I just feel awful. And one of the things I constantly am doing is coaching around LinkedIn and LinkedIn networking, and so I want to talk a little bit about that. So I have around 15,000 connections on LinkedIn. You can have 30,000 max. I know I have a lot of friends who have maxed out at 30,000. And so one of the things, I get about 15 new invites per day from individuals that say, hey, I want to connect with you. I will say about a quarter of those actually have a personalized message, much more willing to connect with somebody who has a personalized message. About 3/4 still, they just flat out, oh, here's an invite, and I have no idea why they want to connect with me, or vice versa. I only accept about half, and so that's part of that is I build a specific network, and we'll talk about that in a minute about why I accept or don't accept. I do think, though, like in terms of just numbers, if you're searching for a job, the magic number is kind of 500. LinkedIn on your profile will show if you have 500 or up, or you have 500 or less. Now, if you have less than 500, it actually shows the number. And recruiters a lot of times will look at that number and go, oh, they only have 270 connections. They're not really networking. They're not really somebody out there that's socially active. It becomes almost like a negative, even though there's really no correlation between how good of an employee you are or skill set you have versus your number of LinkedIn connections. But I'm just telling you, it does come across as a negative to have less if you're on LinkedIn and you're trying to network for a job. So just take that off the plate. Just get to 500, and at that point, don't worry about it. But if you're truly trying to network and find a job, and then continue to network, right? I push people constantly to say, hey, whether it's 10, 25, 50 a week, find what you want your network to be and reach out to people. The easiest one is if you went to university and you graduated from Michigan State University, that you continue to reach out to your alumni. Use the alumni. Alumni love to help other alumni. So reach out to alumni and say, hey, I'm Tim Sackett and I'm looking for a job and just trying to network with other Michigan State alums, would love to connect. If you do that message, 90% of the alums will say yep, and they'll connect. And then as they connect, and depending on the company, depending on their position, you can reach out. Now, again, if I'm in HR and I'm in Michigan State, I'm probably trying to reach out with other alums that are in HR at Michigan State to begin with. And then I'm expanding. What companies do I want to go work for? What places in the country do I want to go live and work? And I'm using the alumni that way as well, and really trying to expand that network. Now, that's for a job search kind of network. For me, in terms of who I network with, there's really kind of like three buckets. One is HR and talent acquisition professionals. That's my tribe. That's who I hang out with. That's who I want to discuss and talk with. And so I connect with those folks. HR technology and talent acquisition technology folks. Again, I will reach out. Now, I do get a lot of sales people from those companies that try to reach out. But again, depending on size and stuff like that, I still will do most of those I'll connect with. And then people from, again, my school. So there's alum. People who are job searching from like that I will connect with, or personal professional connections. So companies I used to work with people I used to work for, people within my own community that I live in. So I have a lot of people in the city here in Lansing that will connect with me. And so those are really the buckets. Now, I get a lot of people that are just totally random, like, oh, I cut hair in Auburn, Indiana, and I want to connect with you. No, I don't. I have no. Why would we ever connect? I don't know. Or I literally get 5 a day RPO vendors from India that want to connect with me. And again, there's no reason for us to be connected. And so to me, that's not the network I want to build and interact with on a daily basis. So that's really important. Specifically understand, who do I want to network with, and then purposely go out there and network and make sure you add in a message. Here's why I want to network with you, and then here's why you should want to network with me. I'm much more willing to network and accept those invitations from that standpoint. I would love to accept 100% of invitations if all those invitations that came in were around the network that I wanted to do. I think a lot of people will get into the mistake of, I accept everything and I'm just building, and I'm going to have 100,000, or I'm going to get to 30,000 connections on LinkedIn, and that would be great. Well, but if half of those connections have nothing to do with what you do for your career on a daily basis, it's completely worthless. So spend time to really understand who you want to network. Even go back through the people you've already connected with, and just disconnect with ones that don't fit that network that you want to build. So I hope that helped. Make sure you're staying safe out there. Again, I will talk to you guys next week. I love HR. I know you do too. I will see you guys later.